Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. Thank you very much for tuning in and joining me as I explore this amazing, incredible animal wide world of pens. And we see another example of a dragon pen, this one from Jinhao. They call it Year of the Dragon pen, but it's, I think, just a dragon pen that happens to be released in the Year of the Dragon. We're going to look at this pen, explore it a little bit. It comes in two colors. I felt this color showed off the dragon better, so I got the gray version. Pen is very well made. My pen animal friends are definitely enjoying it, and the rattlesnake has no problem holding up the heavy pen. So as it trolls around and the little critters give you a winky wink, we're going to dive in. Stay tuned. So first impressions when you pick up this pen, it is significantly heavy. And it's very cap heavy. Most of the weight is in the cap. That standard finial that Jinhao's been putting on their top of their caps for a while, and it lines up with the clip. Very nice sturdy clip. But the real star of this pen is the dragon. Long whiskers, sharp claws, and the snake shape, as we learned from our exploration of the Celtic dragon. So that's where we are with that. Just a nice, straight, black, plain barrel with a end here that facilitates posting, if you would be so brave as to do that. Cap comes off in a little over 1 1/4 turns, which is interesting for Jinhao, less than usual. And we see one of the stars of this design is the heartbeat nib. We saw it in a number 8 nib, and now we have it in a number 6 nib. The sections is on the small side considering the size of the pen, but as it is, it works well. Feels nice in the hand. It's relatively light. And yes, you could put the cap on the end of the barrel. Significantly backweights the pen. I don't think it's something you could write with, even for short notes, but that's me. I stand corrected. Yes, there's 2024 on the pen. Inheritance 2024, so yes, this is commemorating Year of the Dragon, the year 2024. So one of the knocks against Jinhao, at least from my viewpoint, is they don't always label their pens so you know what model it is. But this one has a nice Jinhao engraving on the end of the cap, and then it says Dragon Spirit. So that certainly does, again, point towards this being Year of the Dragon pen, but Dragon Spirit is a specific aspect of the dragon in Chinese culture. Here's some descriptions of it. I think it's appropriate for the pen. Yes, it has its visual attractions. So another interesting feature is they've really beveled that step up from the section to the barrel, so you can hold it anywhere you want. Nice that they did that. You know, aesthetically, I still enjoy the Hong Dion N24 dragon pen that I have, but this certainly has its own appeal, but is not as good a writer all around. But you're certain that this cap is not going to crack. So here's the pieces of the dragon pen. I just do this to show you how things come apart, and has been typical now. Nice O-ring there to make it really tight against the barrel. Standard Jinhao number 6 nib assembly, unscrews in and out. So if you wanted to swap nibs, you could do that with other Jinhao number 6s. And of course, a standard Jinhao converter. Notice it has a clear end here. And one thing to notice also is how it fits snugly on the end of that nib assembly. And that's 2.6 millimeters in diameter. International standards are 2.4. So I see listings and people talking about using international standard converters and cartridges and Jinhao pens, and yeah, you can jam them in there, but I don't know how well they're going to work. Some people do seem to have some problems, but hey, hopefully they can figure them out. So we're in dark mode. I think it's time to do the LED investigation. I was interested how it shows up details a little bit differently. Nice engraving on the end of that cap. If we look inside, we'll see a very thick liner, thicker than usual. There's a little ledge in there. I don't know how well it's going to do for sealing up, but I think this will work very well. And there's your nut at the very top of the cap. Yes, the nut at the top of the cap that holds in that finial and clip. And that's what we got. We have the same type of situation with the barrel. You can see the metal in there. And at the very top, it's a little bit smaller diameter to keep that converter nice and secure. Just a nice lacquer there over the metal. So what ink to put in the Jinhao Dragon pen? Well, this ink held out to me. Yes, I put a label on the back that lets me know what it is. And it does have some interesting gold glitter in it, which goes into suspension very easily. Here's what it looks like on the paper towel. And yes, that glitter is there. And yes, it is purple. Good combo. So the pen writes very well. As soon as I inked it, put nib to paper, it felt great. Excellent flow. Yeah, the ink's a little dry, but it just does a good job, and a lot of glitter in this ink, and it comes through very, very nicely. And the number 6 heartbeat nib I would put in the same excellent category as the number 8 heartbeat nib, which I really enjoyed in the 9019. So maybe this is a trend, a good trend. Jinhao nibs have been known for not being up to the standard of some of the current Hongdian and Asvine pens, but these heartbeat nibs to me are great. Smooth, great flow, feel good on the paper, just a hint of feedback. Yeah, what I would call a great nib. You may ask, does the nib open up? And this I wrote, but the camera wasn't recording, so let's do it again. Here we are with no pressure, and here we are with some moderately higher pressure, and the nib does open up quite nicely, and we should be happy with that. It still feels nice and smooth on the paper. You can write with no pressure whatsoever, and the line is even finer. Great nib. So we've come to the conclusion of this review. Hopefully you've enjoyed looking at this pen, and hopefully now you have a better feeling for what the pen is like and what it would be like if it was in your hand putting down ink. So overall, I think aesthetically I like the pen. That cap is just way too heavy. It's the heaviest cap I think I've ever had on a pen, and it's certainly a pen with the most weight in the cap of any pen I've had. Here's some dimensions to give you an idea of the pen. So overall, I don't either recommend or not recommend this pen. It definitely writes well, and it definitely looks good. It definitely is a desk pen. Put this in your shirt pocket. The shirt pocket may not survive the weight of the pen, and I'm certain we've all come across it when the pen is so heavy that it kind of looks like it's dropping out of your shirt pocket. But would work good in the pen case. And uncapped, it feels good in the hand, writes good, good ergonomics. The section could be a little bit bigger. For some reason, they put that very thick liner in the cap in addition to the weight of the cap, so that's it. So let's do a final write-up and call it a wrap. So as you can see, it continues to write well. It's just a very, very nice writer. It exceeds my expectations. Jinhao has now joined the other Chinese nib makers in improving quality of their nibs, at least from my experience. So that's what I think about the pen. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I hope this video finds everyone safe, healthy, and happy, enjoying your pens, just enjoying inks and paper. And this ink really works well in the pen. A lot of people worry about glitter inks, but I've had pens inked up for years with glitter inks and no issues, and they can be a little bit of a challenge to clean out, but I like to take my pens apart and clean them, because the glitter kind of gets into everything. But I enjoy the look, so I'm willing to put up with a little bit of extra maintenance on glitter pens. So with that, we've reached the end of this video, and we will say bye. Nice writer.